There's additional port fees, you know, there's drink package fees, there's gratuity fees. So all these things are hidden, and then when you think you got that great price on that cruise, you don't realize that by the time the end of your cruise has come, you've spent so much more money where you could have, you know, maybe found a better value with a different company. So this is where we can help you with what specifically you're looking for in your cruise, what you'd like to experience, what are your interests and things, and then we can really gear you towards the proper company, the age group you're looking for, and all of the other great things you can do as far as excursions and things like that, okay? Again, the ticket price, a lot of times your ticket price, people don't realize this, so your air fees, the port fees, all those other things. So again, we can kind of help you along those lines. And then one last thing is with the cruises, what do we got? Oh, they're all equal. Again, this, I kind of go back, this is where, if you're looking for a little more luxury, relaxation, something like that, or whether you're looking for Vegas baby, kind of, you know, 4-day Bahama cruise and just something simple. So again, we can kind of let you know with the professionalism what geared group you'd like to go to, things like that, okay? So, that's about it.
We all want value for our money. Everybody's got so much money, it doesn't matter. They want the best value for the money. Nobody wants to throw money away. So in travel, how do you find that value? So you look at one of the things that's important when you travel are your accommodations. My advice, I guess, counseling, don't take less than you have at home. You've got a beautiful home, luxury, whatever. Don't take a little inside cabin on a cheap cruise. You're not going to be happy. That's not value. So take at least what you have at home or better. Enjoy it. This is your vacation. Go a little higher. Costs more, but it's better value. You're going to be happier with it. On-site expenditures. What's all included? Again, this is sort of geared to cruises, but it can be for tours too. If you take a, for instance, Globus, you've heard of Globus tours? And you've heard of Cosmos, which is their sort of lower value tour. You can take a Cosmos, it costs less. You're going to have, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it if that's what you want. You just have to know what you're getting. Your hotel might be outside of town, versus Globus is going to be right in town. You can walk around, do your own thing. There won't be as many excursions, like inclusions. You're going to have to pay more for the optional ones. So while you're there, while you're touring France or England, you're going to think, oh shoot, that's another $100. Do I have to spend that? If you had booked the Globus, it would have been included. So in the end, you're probably paying the same. Same with the cruise line. There's always excursions, right? And there's always your shipboard credit. They want your credit card before you get on the ship because they know you're going to be maybe buying a drink, you're going to be shopping, you're going to get that Starbucks coffee, at least they hope you are. I heard a statistic, the average person spends $400 on a cruise. I don't know if that's true or not, but those are things you have to think about. Do you know that there's a cruise line, Regent Cruise Lines, that is all inclusive? It's an awesome cruise line. It includes your air, your gratuities, and there's a whole list of excursions you can choose from, your wine. It's your all-inclusive cruise line. There are those out there. Okay?
Could you repeat that name again, please?
Regent Cruises. Regent. Yeah. Regent, R-E-G-E-N-T. Now, okay, so, and we have books in the office, you can come and get them. Where was I? Choice of activities. Well, again, your excursions, what you're going to do while you're there. Whether it's a land tour, a cruise, whether it's a do-it-yourself in Iceland, drive around, whatever you want to do, you have to figure out what you want to do and allow for that. You have to either ask us what it's going to cost or do your research and think, okay, what is this all going to cost me? Because you don't want to go somewhere and think, oh, I'm here, but I really can't afford to do this anymore. You know, you want to know ahead of time. Destinations for value. There's high season, I'm sure you've all heard of that, high season, low season, and shoulder season. Well, a lot of that has to do with the destination or the weather, okay? Not many people want to go to Europe in November. But you're gonna find really awesome river cruise deals in November. Do you want to go in November? Do you want to go on a river cruise? Is that the one you can afford to go on? Dress warmer and go, if that suits you, because it is less. If you want high peak season, then you have to pay the high dollar. There's also what's called shoulder season, which might be October for a river cruise in Europe. It would be October, which October's not bad. It's getting cool, you know, in Europe. Have you, anybody done a river cruise in Europe? What month did you go?
July.
July.
Oh, fun.
Pardon?
It was great.
In July, yes. July it will be. Yes.
China in March.
And how was it?
Great.
Yes. We went in March. No, we went in
I
April.
was in Guilin, so you were pretty down, pretty far to the south.
Okay. You didn't go to Beijing?
Oh yeah, we landed in Beijing, came by train
And that was kind
and
of
stopped
cool?
here and there and everything.
It was okay.
Great.
I mean, I don't think any of us want hot weather to travel. You want it hot to go to an all-inclusive, or hot if you're going to a Caribbean cruise. But you don't want hot when you're traipsing around cities and so on. That's no fun.
You don't know my wife.
The whole time.
Yeah.
What did you say?
You don't know my wife.
His wife likes it hot. She's a hot lady.
Nice.
Comfort and safety. It's all about making sure you're covered. And this is sort of where your insurance comes in. Where's my notes here? I know it's got to do with being sure you're covered for whatever. And insurance is not only, oh, if I die. Insurance will cover weather conditions, like the volcano in Iceland. It will cover, for instance, if there's turmoil in different countries, like for instance Egypt that time when they had all the problems there. I had people booked on it. Well, when they booked, it was fine. The Canada government said on their website, travel warning, you know, exercise caution. Well, by the time she went, it was do not travel, avoid all travel. Her insurance covered it because the warning changed. So when you book, if the warning is fine, like it's an extreme caution is fine, because I think even Australia is extreme caution. You know, so that they're pretty careful in what they put out, and they don't put out do not travel easily. It's a big decision on their part. It's got to do with country relations and so on, I'm sure. But insurance will cover that. It'll cover not only for yourselves, but for your kids, your parents, your brother-in-law, your sister-in-law, your nephew, whatever. If anything happens and it's extreme and you need to stay home, they cover that. So insurance is really, really important, and that's peace of mind when you buy a trip, when you put out $5,000 or $6,000 for a trip. Hopefully I can go. Well, if you pay, I mean, the insurance might be, depending on how old you are, what the price of the trip is and so on, it might be $300 or $400. But if you have to cash it, and if you have to lose that $5,000 or $6,000, that's a lot of money. So that's where the travel with comfort, the sort of the reassurance, you know what, if anything goes wrong, I am covered. Alrighty, so I think it's Marla's turn again.
Nope.
No, still me?
Yep. Be early and flexible, Ann.
Oh, be early and be flexible. Okay, that's got to do with the value again. If you are flexible in your travel dates, you can go at high season and pay high dollar, like I said. If you can change your travel dates, sort of go out of season, or even 1 week to the next. If you ask for this cruise, like I went on the Oasis in January, and I'm in love with the Royal Caribbean Oasis. I just loved it. You might go, say, you want to go away in February, second week in February, because that's the week I want to go away. I always did it, so you get a price, and if you had asked for the first week or the third week, it might have been a cheaper price. So be a little bit flexible in what week you go, and tell us, you know what, I want to go away in February, give me the best price in that range, date range. We can't go day to day, but in that range. That's a good thing to keep in mind. Pre and post availability. For cruises or land tours, for instance, you're doing a cruise, Mediterranean cruise, and you're starting in Barcelona. You get on the ship in Barcelona, you get back to Barcelona, you get back on the airplane. You haven't seen any of Barcelona. So it's, whether it's Vienna, Barcelona, wherever, it's always nice, especially Europe, to spend a day or two before the cruise or the land tour. First of all, you're going to get used to the time change. You're going to sort of see the sights, acclimatize yourself and so on, and the flights are probably going to be cheaper because it's not tied into, I mean, airlines know when the ships go, and they know when the people get on and off, and they know when the flights, the flights are highest demand are going to be your highest price. If you get off the ship, say in Fort Lauderdale, well, they know the ship docks at 7 o'clock in the morning. Everybody wants the flight between 11 and 1. They're the most expensive. If you take a flight at 5 o'clock, it's going to be way cheaper. And the airlines know this. And good for them for making money. But we don't have to do it. We can take other ways. Destinations. Again, be a little flexible. Maybe you've got a bucket list of different things. You've got a river cruise in Europe. You've got Machu Picchu, Peru, and you've got different things in your bucket list. Well, find out what's the best on that bucket list for the time you want to go. One year might be better than another for one destination or another. And the itinerary, the same thing. Stay open to options. Like if you go with, I want to see this and this and this and this. Or, okay, well I could skip this, you know. Just be a little bit flexible and stay open to different options. And you might get a better value for your money. Now it's mine.
Oh, and back to the accommodations that I know so much about now. So this one here, we always, you know, we mentioned that the most expensive tends to go quickly. That one, it's not necessarily because there's that many people that have these high budgets that are looking to travel. It's just that there's the smallest amount of those available. So those tend to go quickly. Least expensive goes quickly as well. It's just because, again, these are kind of the bottom of the ship, inside cabins, the things people don't want, but there are a few of those budgeted, you know, people that still want to get away and retreat because they figure they're not spending most of their time in that cabin, okay? We always mention, you know, really look and be honest with yourself. Look for a stateroom or a category that you're comfortable with. What's your enjoyment, what's your comfort level, what's your relaxation level. That's what's really going to help you. And then we really just get into, they have these adjoining rooms. Those are convenient for families. Groups traveling together, those are other things we can help you with. We can, you know, by going through a professional, we can make it so everyone's in the vicinity. These ships are huge. They're small cities on water. People can get lost. There's, you know, so it's always nice if you can have everybody rooming together. Those are other things we can help you with those adjoining. And the other thing is letting you know as well, kind of saving with money a little bit, looking at doing family suites. So keep the whole family in the suite together. There's enough accommodation in a room. They're quite luxurious, like they really are. So that's something, you know, again, we just really kind of, as far as the accommodations, let us help you out. Just to let you know, my fellow that had the bunk bed, because I am a wonderful advocate for him, I went on and waited and did a little talking and just explained that this was a celebration cruise. This was a first-time cruise. They may be their last time if they get into these accommodations. So they ended up upgrading them about a $325 value with a king-size bed. So always smoothed over. But that again, that's having somebody go and, you know, that's why we're good to have. You know, we can really help you out and get you what you want for your best experience and best comfort. Okay. And let's. So as far as upfront pricing, and you get what you pay for, lower fares sometimes, it is the way it is. Differences can be remarkable though, so you really have to be careful. And with these miscellaneous fees, like I say, you can book a surely cheap cabin on a great cruise line, but when you find all these additional fees and other things, it really might kind of shock you at the end of your trip. You went a little over what your expected budget was, and that you really don't want to end your vacation on that note with, with a regret or some type of, problem. So, we again, back to kind of what Ann said, we really recommend, it's always a nice idea to do an evening before. You're flying, you don't want to feel rushed. Get yourself settled in your hotel, then you're ready to go shuttle that morning, away you go. It makes it a little easier. So you take a little stress off and things like that. And really, again, when you kind of do those different days of traveling, you save a little bit of your travel, so your little overnight accommodation doesn't seem to be as expensive as some may think it is. Really, it kind of works out better for you. Again, saving you a 5-hour wait in an airport somewhere. So it all tends to work out together. And we just, again, want to take into consideration, what do we got here? Oh, just to, again, compare and kind of pay attention and let us know up front, because what you really do want to pay on your vacation, what your budget is, those are things we can help you meet without, again, with you having any surprises at the end of your cruise, okay, or holiday vacation.
We're on number 9, right?
You betcha.
Destination itineraries. Some of these things kind of overlap. We already talked about the off-season, beginning and the end of the season, maybe a little more reasonable, a little cheaper. And let's face it, if you can do a cheaper Europe river cruise, that means you can go on that cruise in January, right? We want value. But what I want to talk about, transition cruises. Have you thought have anybody done a coach tour in Europe? Some of you? Yeah? Like a bus tour, a sported bus tour. Yeah, so you have.
Train.
Pardon?
I got on a train.
On a train. Cool.
Oh, yeah, I did go on a bus trip.
Oh, that too.
I went from
Okay.
Rome to Pompeii.
You can do those. You can do a Mediterranean cruise and cruise back to Fort Lauderdale, New York. You can take a one-way, it's called a repositioning cruise. So do your tour in Europe, your cruise in Europe, and just do a cruise back instead of flying. Extend your vacation. A lot of people, a lot of my clients, will do back-to-back. So they'll do their Mediterranean cruise, stay on the same ship, same room, same everything, and just keep rolling right back to Fort Lauderdale. And they are not that expensive, because for one thing, cruise lines don't advertise it. They don't have money to advertise a one-way, one-time cruise. They rely on their low prices, referrals, word of mouth, that kind of thing, and for people to figure it out themselves. So they generally are really good priced, probably as much as an airline ticket. Okay. So something to think about next time you're planning your vacation. And I know the Oasis, the one that I really love, is doing a transatlantic next October, next year, October, from Rotterdam back to Fort Lauderdale.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm on that one. They don't have prices out yet, so I can't do it yet.
How many days does that take though?
It's not that long, about 6 days, I think. Well, 6 or 8 days, I really don't care. I am not on that ship long
I
enough.
don't want to be on the ocean that long.
Well, but they stop first at Southampton, and they have different stops along the way. It's only probably 4 days across the Atlantic. The rest is different stops. And it's not like, I don't know how many of you are immigrants. I am. I came over on the boat in '52. I don't remember it. But the ships are much different now. I mean, it's just, you can't compare, right, with these transatlantics anymore, the way the ships are. So, still gonna have their storms, but
Now they're coming from Iran.
the ships?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean they're made there, or no?
Oh,
They're not. Oh, from Dubai, yeah.
you won't see Jeremy. Enough said.
Yeah. Okay, next slide. Actually, 10, create your own package. You don't have to buy a pre-packaged. It's the easiest, probably most convenient, probably most economical because they do it by volume, but it's not necessary. You can create your own thing if you like. The line about like the pre and post travel is one idea, but if you want to do, say, a 5-day tour, escorted tour in Italy, Rome, but then you want to go to Germany after that because that's where your ancestors came from, whatever. So I want to take the train to Munich. Well, all these things can be done, and we can help you put those together. We do it all the time. Amortize your air. That just simply means buying it with the tour company or the cruise line. Sometimes it's a good deal, sometimes it isn't, but we work with that. Maximize your experience flying in early. We kind of covered that. While you're there, while you're in Barcelona, go a few days early and get see the sights there. And create your own package. Organize a group. This is, people get confused about that. Oh, if I have a group, I go for free? Well, no, it's not like that. And you need about 16 people. I think 8 cabins for a cruise, and for a land tour, you're going to need 30 people or whatever, 20 people. It's not as easy as going for free. But what you do get when you book a group, whether it could be 6 cabins, maybe 7 cabins, you know, depending on the ship, whatever, you might get free dining. Like every ship has dining rooms that you have to pay to use. They all have their free ones, but they all have ones that you got to pay to use. So you might be able to get that, for instance, Holland America, the Pinnacle Grill. Or you might get a shipboard credit. Or you might get some wine. You might have a cocktail party. With groups comes these sort of little amenities kind of thing. So if you're traveling, you know, if you always travel with your group of friends, consider pooling it together and getting some of these benefits. Okay.
All right.
My list.
Okay, so just a few last things. We've got basically, you know, how to spot a good deal. Just ask an expert, and that's exactly why we're here. Just kind of let someone in the know, and you know, she can let you know as far as the accommodations beforehand to the best place to get a Coney Island hot dog. I can't believe that all I keep hearing about is these Coney Island hot dogs between Grace and Anne, and going, and the people coming back off of the cruise are saying the same thing. Those hot dogs are the greatest, and it's a city on water, so it's so fun to hear that you still got to try a hot dog when there's so many other beautiful things. The shows are incredible, everything's incredible on them. So again, kind of come and get some expert advice. Again, we're around the information all the time, all day long. So we know, we're in the know. We know what's happening out there. We know the internet's there. It's gonna, you know, we're gonna be pretty close in a comparison. If you call it for a quote, you're going to get pretty close to what you found on the internet. You know, a misconception is that we have all these huge booking fees and these things. Really, we get those from companies, so you don't have to worry about that. You know, we're not worried about taking your money that way because we're already taken care of through the companies. That's what we're there for, and that's why, you know, we try and get professional and be in the know about what is specific to these trips and tours, okay? And again, just, you know, the same thing is whether the deals are a good deal or not. You can hear from many places that they're a good deal, but once we put all those things and all those hidden little things put together for you, it might surprise you. And the other thing is we're going to be very honest with you. We're pretty straight. You know, it's a great business. It's a business going for 50 years, so we know that, you know, what's out there and what's available, and we're going to be honest with you because we know you can walk out the door and go get another quote from somewhere or go hit the internet yourself, so that we should be in a comparable thing. It's just about kind of getting you that extra assurance that you've put it together and someone will go to bat if anything does go wrong. So, okay, and just in the back we have about 3 of the cruises that we already have hosted and ready to go. A trip to Ireland, and Bill and Grace are doing the Mekong River, and Anne is hosting one as well. So maybe she'll just kind of close up and let you know a little bit about those tours, and that's it.
Okay. Yeah, just in closing, we couldn't take all the brochures, and we don't know what people want, and there's just a lot of slugging and everything. So we do have some hosted tours. That means leave from Chatham and be brought back to Chatham. And there's 3 of those back there. The one, like Mila said, is the Mekong that Grace is doing. They're doing a ship. It has 14 cabins. I think it's just brand new last year. It's the only one that can go from Cambodia all the way down to You have to look at the map where it's going. It's the only ship that can do that. And Bill and Grace have pretty much the whole ship. I think they got 2 cabins left. They would have had one, but one couple had to cancel because of, yeah. So that would be really nice to do. That's a chance in a lifetime to go to countries like that you don't want to go alone, to go with people from Chatham here. Okay, and the other one is Ireland, is Gord Reynolds. He is the, I don't know if you know him, he's the pastor at Gregory Drive Alliance. This is not a religious tour. Just because he's a pastor, it's not a religious tour. It's not like a minister or a pastor taking you to Israel. No, you're going to get your devotions every day and everything. It's not like that. It's because, I don't know if he's from there.
He is.
Do you know? He is
He
from there.
is born and
Okay.
grew up, so that's why he kind of customized his tours.
He just wants to show everybody his country. So that's what that one's all about. China, I have taken 2 groups to China, and if people ask my favorite country, it's got to be China. Why? I think the people have a lot to do with it.
The food.
Oh, the food sucks.
Yeah.
Food's terrible, I think.
That's my favorite country to eat.
Oh, really? Oh, no, I take my own food. Yeah, but I'm a fussy eater anyway,
As long as
but,
it didn't move, I ate it.
oh, no, like when you
Oh, it was.
take up a ladle out of your soup and the whole chicken head is on there. But there was always rice and there's always watermelon, so I didn't go hungry. The breakfast buffets are awesome.
Yes, they are.
And you can kind of take a bun from breakfast for
Yeah.
your lunch.
And dinner.
And the fish,
Well,
oh,
it's not cheaper because you're on, all the meals are included. I mean, you don't have to do it for the money.
you didn't eat in the restaurants, I did. 'Cause
But-
that was my favorite country to eat in the world.
That's, other people in our group said that. Oh, the food was awesome. But I have to tell you a little story, and I don't want to gross anybody
Not
out.
too
but
many overweight people running around either.
My sister, she's worse than I am probably. And she was just hardly eating anything. And finally we got scrambled eggs. And she just, finally something I can eat. Well, there was little dots in these eggs. She was sitting at the other table, and the one girl that was at my table said, you know what they are? They're little worms, they're little eyes. What? Okay, we don't need these. Don't tell Bonnie until we get home. She didn't know, but yeah, the food, you like it or you don't. It's.
What the hell?
But you don't go to China for the food.
No.
You go for the history.
Yeah.
The culture, Mao Zedong's tomb, the Forbidden City is huge. And China is not that long open to tourism. It's what, 15 years
15
or
years.
something like that? Not much more than that. They want tourism. So they are changing to be more westernized. How many women know what a squatter is? There's a squatter. A squatter is your bathroom,
Yes.
with a hole in the ground. That's what a squatter is.
Even on the train.
And take your own toilet paper. 'Cause there's
And your
none.
own toilet
Well,
paper.
that's in Europe too. Take your own toilet.
Oh, either that or pay for it.
Yeah.
But we don't like squatters. And we want to have doors in front of our toilets. They don't care. They know what we want and they're trying to accommodate us. They're changing to be more westernized.
The hotels have regular bathrooms.
Oh, the hotels are beautiful. Hotels are wonderful. Like they're probably 6-star here, the hotels we stay at. Yeah, but the hotels are beautiful. But the public places are like that.
Even a train, that's really fun trying to go on the train.
I don't even want to hear that.
We're gonna do the prize.
You're gonna
But
try.
anybody who's going, we women have learned how to deal with these things. So, yeah, so those are the escorted tours we have going this year. I don't know what we'll have next year. We're always happy to put them together if you people have ideas, whatever. So I don't know if you have any questions. Is this the time for questions or?
You're gonna pick a prize.
I think we're gonna have you pick a prize.
Yes.
Could you tell us what's in this and
Oh.
we'll have you draw, we'll take a picture of you with the winner.
Grace, oh, there's a scale.
scale.
A weight, a
Trying to
luggage
measure your
scale.
weight. You
Yeah.
pay
Luggage
weight restriction,
scale?
weight
You
restriction
can't
these
hook
days.
yourself on it and.
And a bag. She put it together, so I'm not, there's a luggage strap, it's supposed to be about $35.
In a very nice box.
Very nice box. Passport holder. Yeah. So lots of goodies.
And we'll have your drawer.
35.
So we'll put our list in 35 is
Sharon Moore.
Sharon.
Oh.